Very accomplished today. 2 big projects down. So yesterday, picked this guy up, 18 bucks, not terrible. Nice breaker bar, but you can do the opposite of a breaker bar. Extension bit, a little red thread locker. I'm sure somebody's gonna say, you shouldn't have done that. These guys hopefully will not come out. I tightened it as hard as I could. I mean, it was all the way down, right? With my regular wrench. And then popped it on this sucker, and it was like smooth as butter. It was still going. I was like, what the heck? And you gotta make sure that this guy is making contact. You can adjust the pitch of the head or what, you know. But a little Loctite, getting these guys locked down, hopefully they won't back out anymore, because that's what's causing our chunk, right? That's pretty bad. There were some shavings around here too. Actually a good amount of shavings. I'm seeing this is kind of smoothed out, so that's not the end of the world. Like, you can replace this part, but this part's the expensive. You know, the shank and this business and those bars, that's the expensive part. So I believe this will be 1,000 times better, and hopefully this won't loosen up after every drive. Way cheaper than a big air gun and all that crap. So I went ahead and replaced these and added a few more on both sides of this adapter. So you can see brand new, fresh plastic there. As long as I don't keep pulling it in and out, we should be good. And then apparently we don't have a hammer, so don't do what I do, but these acted as a hammer to get the first guy in there. I stopped just in time so I can get the pin all the way through. And then this guy slid in pretty easily. I had to coerce it a little bit with the fresh plastic, and these little shims, I think that if we weren't pulling it in and out, they'd be just fine. So this is great. Got one other big project. Humidity out there sucks. Oh, fun fact, got the fridge working last night. So you can see I can switch modes, all that good stuff. The control board's working. Well, what was the fix? So the first thing I always would do with something like this is least invasive to most invasive, except for this time. So my first thing was I went ahead and shut off the inverter, see if that would do the trick, and it did not. It just went red because I had it on a specific mode. And this fridge always gets 12 volt. I didn't really think about that at first. And then I go ahead and I tried to like open the door, see if I can get in there. And I'm like, okay, I see where they might've done some wiring back here to the rear like main logic board. But this, like the daughter board here, I'm like, we never messed with any of that. I never touched the back of the fridge. So I'm like, I don't think it's gonna be like a cable issue or whatever. I'm like, maybe it just gave up the ghost. It just, you know, whatever. And so I shut everything off. I let it sit for a little while. No dice. When it came back on, you know, there we go. And then I'm like, how does it sell the light, right? 12 volt power, duh. So went ahead, dug deep into the bowels of the seating here, flipped the switch, shut all power off for 2 seconds, turned it back on just to see how quick this would be. And then sure enough, that board is working again. So turns out it's always pulling a little bit of 12 volt, both for the board, the thermostat, all that good stuff, as well as, of course, the fan in the back. I think there's at least one fan, so that runs. What did that let us do? Well, we're right now we're at 25%. Did you run the air fryer? Yep. We're at 25% with the air fryer use actually last night for dinner and this morning for breakfast, and that's still pretty good considering we've been running the air conditioner all night. And let me tell you what, it does make a difference. Before we turned that on, we had all the windows open. I mean, the dogs were just, they're just having a difficult time, which forced me to troubleshoot this a little further. And I was like, bright light. But went ahead and turned that on propane. This guy, yeah, ran all night, no problems at all. Nice and cool in here. The dogs within 30 minutes even were like, they stopped painting, which is that's the only thermostat I need. Having that and the fan blowing that air has been all right. Could it cool a little faster or this or that? Sure, absolutely. But the difference is we could actually run this last night, whereas by this time this morning, it's like almost 9. We wouldn't, I mean, our batteries would have been flat dead. It would have died at probably like 2 a.m. So, hey, big thumbs up. And what a difference. The humidity, by the way, I might add, I don't think this dehumidifies other than like what it does necessarily through the process of air conditioning.
It's definitely way less humid in here than it is outside.
I wish we brought the weather station. That would have really like definitively told us, but it certainly helps. I would rather be cooler and wet than hot and wet outside. And by the way, the temperature's not even that high. It's just so crappy out. I checked the freaking weather app. It's only like 78 degrees with 85% humidity. Isn't that just raining? This is crazy, man.
Well, the truck is saying it's 86.
Now it's saying it's 86, but earlier when I was out doing the whatnot, oh man. We kind of skipped through Tulsa yesterday. I kind of feel bad for that. It gives me an excuse if we go run through downtown just so we can take a peek. It gives me an excuse actually to return the one lens I picked up, because for the same price as the one lens, because it's like Prime Day deals or whatever, we can get 2 lenses and I can just pick the best one. So it's less than half the price at the end of the day, maybe even about a quarter of the price for a kind of a fun lens, a walk around, everyday lens as I, start my arsenal again of lenses. And I really only need 3. I don't know if I talked about this yesterday. I only need 3. I love ultra wides. On a full frame, like 24 isn't wide enough. I like a good 17 or wider. But Fujifilm on the APS-C body, but on an APS-C sensor, it's smaller, therefore it just kind of crops in a little bit more. So I want a nice wide lens, but I'm picking a very regular, a 23 or a 27. One of those 2 is going to win out. Ordered on Prime, so we'll pick that up in Chicago. And then I actually already have a manual focus, old Canon 50mm 1.4, which is 75 equivalent. So I might just stick with that for a while. We'll see. I rarely ever. I used to have the Fujifilm 56mm 1.2. Camera nerd speak for it's an amazing lens, but I never use the thing because I don't shoot a lot of portraiture anymore.
Yeah.
Weddings, that was the tits. It was awesome. It was sharp as can be, beautiful, but you've seen it.
Yep.
And that's the one lens that I said, hey, Emma, can you get me? I want to do a couple close-ups.
They've heard this story before.
No, she threw it on the ground.
Not like threw it on the ground.
She goes to toss it to me. It falls short. I'm like, what are you doing?
So
and it
really,
was muddy out.
So really, Joel just didn't catch it.
It was like 5 feet in front of me. Oh, anyways, it didn't break the lens somehow.
Don't ask me to throw a camera lens again.
Don't throw the camera. I didn't. Okay. All right. Anyways, I'm still upset about that.
It's been 6 years, guys.
I don't let things go. All right, let's go through Tulsa. Breakfast anytime. That's a cute donor.
If you look carefully behind that Jaguar statue or whatever that is, there is a river.
This is a pretty area. Very green. Reminds me a lot of Tennessee.
It does remind me of Tennessee a lot.
Especially that humidity. Oh man, that was horrible. We did not have AC then.
Yeah.
It sure does seem like they like their art here. And I do respect that they turned what would have otherwise been kind of an ugly bridge into, they add a little bit of flair to it, a little spice. I like that. Look at that. This is a cool city. I will say, I think they might have a gang problem here, at least in some areas of the city, but it's a big city.
Yeah. It's a pretty city.
I don't know what else I would have expected out of Oklahoma. I never really think about Oklahoma much.
I feel like Oklahoma City and Tulsa have like small town charm with like big city vibes, but they don't lose the small town charm.
And speaking of charm, I was so charmed by that. One stop we made at Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Weren't those the nicest people? Just everybody so kind. I don't know.
Big houses.
I will say, I'm sure it's all hit and miss. Some of my not favorite most drivers here, I will say that. I think of some, and the roads are kind of iffy, especially in some areas. We porpoise like crazy driving these roads, but I can see why people would like it here. It's just a nice neighbor. I love the stones. It's a very cute area. Huh. Is that a hippie bus?
Hippie bus at a dispensary.
Oh, okay, that adds up. Yep. That's a cool looking building though. What in the world? Oh, that's cool.
I don't know, the salmon culture loving Tulsa.
A Route 66 fire station. That's cool. I appreciate that they kind of kept that alive. Oh man, these roads are not great. I don't imagine though they're worse than Chicago roads or anywhere in Illinois really.
Chicago's pretty bad.
Yeah, Illinois, it was bad enough our sink fell through in our Airstream. Oh man, like it's easy to laugh about it now, but boy was I, I was not a happy camper at that point. Oh geez, look at that church down there too. And look at that church over there, jeez.
Oklahoma's got some pretty churches.
They sure do.
We felt that way in Oklahoma City as well.
Yeah, and that's where we saw the big golden globe thing. That was kind of funky. I like that. Yeah, I bet you could do some nice photography down here. It's a good mix of like old and new, and yeah. This just seems like a kind of place though, there'd be like a major FBI building, you know, headquarters or something like that. I don't know. I do like how many trees and the greenery out here though. Like IBM's here. God, what a brutalist building though, right? More churches with the beautiful, I mean, ooh, look at those. Another AT&T building there, but yeah, Skyline's really kind of cool. They have just a mix of very ugly buildings, which really help the more unique. Holy smokes, all glass there. I can only imagine. Actually, it looks like there's like 2 layers of glass. It's kind of an insulated layer, but I can only imagine what the HVAC bill is, or the size of that. Oh, it must be crazy. Oh man, they sure do have some pretty murals there.
They're going with some like really retro font on the signs. I really like it. Park Tulsa.
I will say though, I think riding a bicycle in the humidity takes some getting used to. So
oh, that would be brutal for a while.
yeah. So
We got used to it in Nashville though.
driving through right now, I think is my preference.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta love the bison here. That's cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Route 66, spaceship.
Music and all that. All right. Oh, wait, what's that over there? What is that over there? Oh, we can't see it. Oh, yeah, there you are. Look at them. Ha! Little trailers up there. Love that. I don't know what they serve there, but I want to eat. I tell you, that's fun.
It looks like they had beer brewing stuff in the front window.
We can at least get a cheeseburger.
There's a train coming over the bridge. We're gonna just kind of tipping it back in.
I think there's some big train yards out here too.
Yeah, I think Tulsa's like a big train hub in the center of the country kind of thing. That's a cool building. Stadium, it looks like.
That sure is an interesting building. Wow, that's a lot of panels they put up. Like, it still kind of blows my mind, you know, some of the architecture and some of the design of these buildings, but also just like the practicality of like the materials and the like how much labor it would take to put all this together. And then you have this. Not as impressive. All right, let's get on out of here. Well, this is kind of fun. So, got the blue whale here. Riding on the whale is prohibited, swimming is prohibited. Oh, you can do a little fishing, just catch and release only. What in the world? Emma knows a little bit of history on this, but there's all these kind of quirky things. Oh, they even have bathrooms here. That is a nice stop here on Route 66. The blue whale. That is something, isn't it? Man, oh man, what is that made out of? It looks like a little slide in there. Can't swim in it now, but got folks fishing across the pond. Boy, that sure is an attraction. Little hat on top of it. So what is the history of this thing?
So this guy Dave built this as an anniversary gift for his wife in 1970. It took him 2 years to build it out of a steel construction and then hand mixed cement.
Oh, it is cement?
Yeah, it became a swimming hole for the community, and then it closed in 1988, and then the community rebuilt it after he died, kind of keep it in repair.
What an interesting guy. A lot of these things, it seems like folks are building. That's not cement though, is it? Maybe they redid portions of it, because this looks like cement.
This is cement.
Oh, that is cement, yeah. Very interesting. They even have lights in here. This would be cool to see at night.
They added new decking.
Weird.
Yeah, you used to be able to swim off this.
So it's interesting though. So that's like what, the 4th or 5th thing we've seen, like guys just build weird things for their wives.
What are you gonna build me?
Lenny the bus. Wow, this is really neat. It's kind of like almost like a fiberglass, and
I think it was a diving platform on the top there of the tail.
yeah. Oh, we'll say though, on a day like today, it's getting warmer and warmer. I wouldn't mind sliding down that.
Well, it's no swimming now. Now it's just a fishing hole.
Yeah, I bet there's, like, especially as certain areas get warmer, the algae gets kind of worse and worse.
Yeah, it looks like the community is going to build a new like visitor center here. Like they're going to make this actual like a Route 66 attraction.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
I bet you they like sell ice cream and such out of there. Cute little, oh man.
Oh, there's a history right there.
Yeah. Yep, if you want a little bit of history, you can pause that. This is home for the evening. We got a Cracker Barrel here, a water tower up there, and we're here in St. Roberts, Missouri. Now you might notice if you've been out here or kind of following our journey, we did actually skip a state here, and it's a very small sliver in Kansas. It turns out there was a big toll road.
44 has a toll, it's a turnpike, which is a toll road, at least for part of it. And so we got majorly detoured for probably what, like 50 miles or so?
Well, it was an automatic Google, because we just keep the toll roads off, and so it was an automatic detour. And then we kind of noticed, I'm like, I haven't seen a Route 66 sign in a while. Well, there you go. So, yeah, if we don't like to pay for parking, and we really don't like to pay for tolls. Yep. So we have something to go check out here down this way, because today's been a little bit of a lighter day, actually.
Yeah, we actually picked this Cracker Barrel very intentionally.
Yeah.
So we have a destination we want to see at dark, dusk.
Yeah.
And then this Cracker Barrel was a nice spot to stay nearby.
Yes. We were actually watching one video earlier. It was a new channel, and this gal's like jumping into Vanlife, and it's like night one. And it was funny the way she phrased it, because she's like, well, I'm staying at an RV park tonight and tomorrow, and I might start to warm up and feel a little more confident, which is nothing wrong with that. But then she goes, I think at that point, then I can stay at Cracker Barrels. And it was the tone and the way she said it. It almost sounded like she thought that was the rule, that if you're not in an RV park, you're at a Cracker Barrel. Which, fun fact, that is not by any means a rule.
And we love a good Cracker Barrel stay.
And we didn't have them in Washington, so we couldn't do. You know, it's really like the Southwest. And
it's everywhere except for Washington has Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, well, they had one in Northwest Oregon. That got closed down.
All the ones in the Portland area did, yeah.
Yep. So.
But that's because Portland's a shithole.
Man, that sure is picturesque there. So I want to talk about air conditioning for a second. So we're running the AC right now. Yeah, it's doing all right. I mean, considering you were just cooking.
It keeps it cool enough, especially like last night. Like we were sitting there.
Last night was comfortable.
Without it. Well, before we turned the air conditioner on, we were sitting there and we were like dripping sweat.
Yep.
It was so hot and like just humid. Like it wasn't even hot, it was humid.
Yeah.
And we turned the air conditioner on and it was comfortable in the rig. Like it wasn't cold necessarily. Like I wouldn't go, ooh, cold, like put a sweatshirt on cold. But it was cool enough to be comfortable.
Which, that's important. That and the fact that we can run it.
Right.
But I think about the fact that for, well, millennia, there was no air conditioning. There was no fancy device to basically take hot air and then condition it, really run that hot air over cooled coils, cooled by cool gases and magic. I don't know how electricity, there's some gases in there, and then metal is involved, and then there's But how did people live for so long without air conditioning? And I've been looking into it. It turns out, like, ice for a long time was not a thing. Refrigeration was not really a thing. And so, you know, you could buy your ice at the, you know, the turn of the century, you could buy ice.
You could buy black.
Yep, so there's that. People would sleep on porches.
Yeah.
Do a little more swimming, water.
You sleep in a hammock so that you get some breeze below you too, the airflow.
Yep, fans, ice, water, we'd probably cut across. I'm sure there were some other things, but there was actually like screen rooms on porches to allow all the breeze, so that was kind of nice. But the other thing, and we've been learning a little more and more about history and such and how it applies to us, and that's the part that that's when it sticks in my brain, is like, what would I do if I didn't have this technology? That's what I would do, right? So I got a repertoire of basic moves. It's really migrating. That's what people used to do a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, they would migrate. And so if it's hot, go somewhere cooler and vice versa. But of course, once you start homesteading and such, you kind of have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And then you have a couple other techniques. But I just thought that was so interesting. And then when, you know, come the 50s really, you had like some swamp coolers were, you know, okay. But when real modern day air conditioning, not just swamp coolers, when that became a thing, obviously it was too expensive, like all technology. And so people would go to movie theaters that would have air conditioning. That would be like a big thing. And so it actually increased movies that made it much more popular to go see a movie and get out of the heat for a while. I thought that was kind of interesting. And then eventually...
Movie theaters still are the premium cold location.
Well, that's true. And then of course you have, you know, the very rich folks that would then have them. And then, you know, it trickled down, and today you can buy a 5,000 BTU unit for $160, which I mean, that's quite some value, I'd say.
So what I'm hearing you say is that we're spoiled.
We are spoiled. And, you know, I think it's also kind of funny because a lot of folks are like, that's not cool enough. And I'm even over here like, you know, I wouldn't mind if my air conditioner was cooler. But I also don't want to take it for granted because, one, we can run it, which is awesome. That's a feat in itself. But further, having any cooling is better than no cooling, especially like we lived in Nashville for a year and no air conditioning other than what we kind of snuck in to enjoy.
Yeah, I feel like though, like over time, your body acclimates a little bit too. Like the hot doesn't feel so hot. The humid isn't so unbearable.
I mean, yeah. Until you go into summer cold.
Until you go,
Yeah, but like right now it's like 80, 88 and...
But even like growing up in Michigan, a humid summer in Michigan wasn't that bad when you did it every year. Like when you kind of like putting a frog in a pot of water and then turning it on to boil.
Yeah.
You know, they don't know they're boiling.
So it's true, but as we're coming through the humid area, getting away from like the no humidity whatsoever area, it's gonna take me a little longer to acclimate.
Yeah, the thing that I don't love, that I kind of forget about every time, is the flies.
Which I will never acclimate to.
Like mosquitoes, like yeah, whatever, they come out at night, like put bug spray on, wear long sleeves, I don't know. But it's the flies, they just are like nuisance. And
they're pretty good sized flies too.
Yeah, they are.
And you know, I don't know if they're gonna are they gonna bite? Like, your body doesn't really discern. You just automatically, you know, land on your leg, land on your face, land on your arm. Get away from me. But they're also not just in the trailer. They're everywhere. So, I don't know. I'm just been a bit of a ninny about it, but.
Okay, I have an unpopular opinion.
Okay.
We're here by a Freddy's.
Ooh, never been there.
It's like a Culver's or a Brahms, depending on from which area of the country you're from. I like none of it. I don't like any of it. I don't like the Culver's. I don't like the Brahms. I don't like the Freddy's. I don't know why.
Is it just does it just taste like cheap food?
It doesn't actually taste like cheap food. I don't know if I don't like the oil that they fry the stuff in. I don't like...
Which?
Custard. Well, not all of it's custard. Brahms is ice cream. But like, I don't know. There's something about it I just don't like. Which
I will say, Steak and Shake is now starting, at least in some regions, to cook in beef tallow again.
See, I like Steak and Shake though.
Yeah.
But I don't like the other three.
I think I've had Culver's and it didn't really do it for me. And it was also, they had crinkly cut fries and I was like, I don't know why. Feels basic. I don't know.
I'm kind of growing out of French fries. I don't know. They never actually hit the spot for me. It's been like that for a while though.
Like greasiness.
I'll have a sweet potato fry over a regular fry any day.
So this was unpopular opinions with Emma. Actually, we have something pretty dang cool to see. We will be hanging out here for a little while because things may change in 20, 30 minutes, but this is pretty neat. This is the Route 66 Neon Park. That's a tank. That's not a neon tank, but it is pretty cool. So at night, in theory, this whole thing should light up, I hope. We've never been here, but this is put on by, I think it was a coalition between the city and the county, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's new. It just opened in May.
Yeah. This memorial is dedicated by the citizens of the city of St. Robert to the brave servicemen and women and their families who have sacrificed so much to protect our nation. I do love to see how many American flags and all the patriotism that we see out here. It's a wonderful thing. A lot of folks love our country here.
Looks like they're gonna add 2 more still.
So from what we were reading, these signs were all kind of tossed out and left in junk piles and this and that. And some of them were perfectly working but were upgraded, and others were just some malfunction. So there was actually, I don't know if it's like one or multiple individuals or companies wanted to dedicate them, so they fixed them up and donated them to the city, which I think is great.
Yeah.
How freaking cool is that?
I think it lights up at night though, so we'll stay until it lights up.
They have power out here. All right, does this make up for missing a few signs along the way?
I think it does.
A little bit. Welcome to St. Robert, Route 66 Neon Park, and the park is not illuminated. That's all right, it's a work in progress. I love these signs, and there's this Art Deco aesthetic about it, right? Where you have but you have these curves. You have these curves and these kind of, I almost want to call them an inline more than an outline. That's kind of fun. I don't know why, but I love neon signs. My buddy, Mike, likes neon signs as well. We used to go out and photograph and, oh, I like this one especially. Go and photograph and he really focused on the neon signs. I didn't fully understand it because in Seattle there's not as much neon. Or if there was neon, it was usually a pretty shady hotel. And half the bulbs were, the lines were out. But yeah, really combining it with the blinking lights. Very classy. And although it looks like this one has actually been converted to LED, maybe not actually. It may not have been converted yet. But it was interesting because you would do circuits every 4, 5, 6 circuits for some of these, especially the older signs. And so there'd actually be a rotating, something that kind of rotates and makes contact with each individual item, which caused them to blink. It wasn't like a circuit board or, until later on. But early on, that's kind of how they did that, which watched a video on that recently. Very interesting stuff. I know absolutely nothing about how neon is made, but aren't these just so charming? I don't know. Very charming. This might be my favorite. That's just nice. Look at that. But this one's really, what's a cortel? Because you have a hotel, motel. Maybe this is like a fancier motel. Ooh, kind of moving arrow, that's cute. Okay, I think I know my preference. What's your favorite?
My favorite? I like this one over here.
That the alpaca?
That motel? Or I like the neon park sign itself.
Yeah. Oh wait, this side of the neon park is lit up? Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one as well, the Alpac Motel. Mid-century modern is how they describe it on the website as well. So,
I think we need to go to the Neon Museum when we get back to Las Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas, yes. But they won't let you film. Which I think the reason they won't let you record or whatever is because obviously they want to.
They want people to come see it themselves.
Which I get it. Gotta get a couple shots myself here. These would make some nice backgrounds, wouldn't they? These would be really cool, real dark, and then you get a long exposure on each side, really adding to the effect. But yeah, all right. This was worth the stop.
This is pretty awesome.
It is cool.
Good
I don't
find,
know.
Emma.
I like that they are, they're restoring them. Give them a little paint, give them a little love. And each one has its own breaker and their own setup so they can you don't have to take the whole park down to work on them. I like that.
Yeah, that's basically pretty cool.
That is so cool. Oh, I think we're gonna walk back. Maybe actually, we're gonna walk down to the Walmart just past the Cracker Barrel there. Grab some sauce for what are the raviolis?
Yeah, we have raviolis for dinner tomorrow.
Be kind of nice.
Really, they're taking up a lot of room in our freezer that I'd like to free up. So we're gonna eat them.
Yep. Can we cook those in the air fryer? Or do you have to boil them?
You have to boil them.
Yeah.
Some people do you do like a fried ravioli after you bake them and crispy outside.
Yeah. But this area is a pretty relaxed area. There's a military base not far. A couple families here and there. A few truckers. It's a pretty quiet, clean, safe area. So I have no problem walking after dark. We are the Riff Raff. This is what I've been talking about, guys. And so far, still loving Route 66. Today, a little less exciting, you know, just the route we went, but I think it's still been great.
Yeah.
This is worth it.
Yeah, we did see the blue whale today too.
I'm the blue whale. What a weird thing, right?
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the road in the next video.
Bye, guys.
Bye.